Hey everyone, welcome to Rezzies and Redeyes with Zoey and Andrew. We're here to share our travel stories, food adventures, and tips to make every trip unforgettable and hopefully with a lot of laughs along the way.
And we're so excited to have you here along for the ride
You can check out all our photo and video highlights on our Instagram page.
at Rezzies and Redeyes. And if you have a tip, a question, or a story you'd like to share with us, send us a DM and your passenger notes might just get featured on the show. And if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and leave us a review. It really helps more foodies and travelers find us.
All right, maybe let's get into it.
Let's do it. Yeehaw.
Hey everyone. So thanks for joining in on this third episode of Roses and Red Eyes. Thanks for following along with us as we've been detailing our trip together as we went to Rio de Janeiro. Our last episode was on our trip to Me, which is the one-star Michelin restaurant, Sushi Omakase there at the Copacabana Palace. And this episode, we're looking to focus on the other Michelin restaurant we went to, which was the two-star Michelin named Oro there in the Le Blanc area of Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, I think honestly, this might have been my favorite out of the restaurants we ate there. It was a great experience. I'm so excited to talk about it today.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. But before we get into that episode, let's hit on our passenger notes, okay?
Let's do it.
Thank you, everyone, for all the commentary and questions we've been receiving on our Instagram accounts. We're happy to answer any questions you have, so please keep them coming. We'll do two here since it's a shorter episode. I'm going to give the first one to Zoe to field. This one comes from Susan in the Central Valley. She asks, when is the best time of year to visit Rio de Janeiro? And also, how many days to get a good experience? Zoe?
So, great question, Susan. Thanks for sending that in. So, me and Andrew went on our trip to Rio end of February into the beginning of March. And I think that was a really great time to go. The best time, obviously, would be there springtime, summer. I think that's when you get best of all worlds there in Rio. And you can enjoy like all the beaches, the nightlife, festivals. The famous Carnival is in February.
Yeah, we just missed it, remember?
Yeah, so I would definitely, frame your trip around whatever festivities that you want. There's always something going on in the summertime there, and also great weather for hiking if you like to be outdoors. And yeah, the cheapest times of the year are to go in the winter time, which is going to be the opposite of our summer. Those months are typically around like April to August.
Yeah, so remember, Southern Hemisphere, so everything sort of flipped there. So in February, it was their hot and wet season as well.
Yeah, you do get some rain, but not too bad. As at the end of the season anyways, you do get some. For the length of the trip, I would definitely recommend probably 5 days.
5 days?
How long did
You
we go?
you always say you love doing trips for 14 days.
I mean, I do. If I could have stayed 14 days, I would have, but
Yeah, no, I think
I think a good 5 days.
I think you're right. I think 5 days for for that city by itself. Obviously, if you're doing a bigger trip through Brazil, you're going to need obviously more time to go to the different areas like Sao Paulo as well as Rio. But for the city itself, yeah, I think we hit on all the major sites within those 5 days that we were there.
Yeah, I mean, that 5 days includes travel time also, so depending on where you're coming from, our plane ride there was how long was it? Like
So it was 4 hours from LAX to Atlanta, then 10 hours down to Rio.
yeah, so our plane ride there was about 14 hours, so that's about a day right there. So just, accounting for that, I think a good 5 days for sure.
Okay. Thank you, Susan, for that excellent question.
Yeah, let us know when you go. All right, so let's go into our next question. We have John from Berkeley, California. He says, do they take US currency in Rio? What is the exchange rate? And when we travel to Europe, American Express was not accepted. Does Rio accept American Express? All excellent questions. Andrew?
Yeah. So first of all, yeah, they do not accept US dollars there in Rio de Janeiro. So it's not like Panama, where you actually can pay in dollars there in Panama. So everything is dealt with in reals there. The current exchange rate we just actually looked up, but it's similar to what it was when we went to Rio. It's about 5 reals to $1. So just kind of have that in your head when you're going out for lunches or dinner or whatever you may be doing around the city itself. As far as what credit cards were accepted there. So, I have my Chase Sapphire card, which I had no problem purchasing things as we went about the city. And then Zoe is a big Amex girl. Did you have any problems while we were there?
No, actually, all places that we went accepted credit cards, and we were able to pay credit card everywhere. We did have cash. Andrew likes carrying cash everywhere. I do not, but we did use cash for some things like tips and what else?
Gosh, I think for the little like beach guys who were coming and
Oh
offering
yeah.
us.
Well, and they even like the little beach guys that were the umbrella sellers or
Yeah.
like the umbrella rentals, you could pay credit card too.
Yeah. Right.
What?
Exactly.
But
But,
maybe don't.
but yeah. Right. So what happened to my credit card?
Uh, yeah, your credit card got stolen.
Yeah, I had fraud charges.
Fraud. Yeah.
So I think that was the same day we went to Copacabana and rented out that umbrella and chairs that they said we would have all day long, all night long, actually. And then later on that night, when we were coming back from our samba lesson, I got the alert from Chase that someone tried to make some $1,000 donation in like Africa. So
Yeah. Don't think that's what it was,
I
but
wish I was that charitable, but
I know.
so that card
You
was
are.
canceled.
Yeah. So I think just stick to using your credit cards at all the major places and use cash for the smaller things.
Yeah, avoid using your credit card on the beach. Thanks, John, for that question. We appreciate it. And hopefully you have safe travels wherever you're headed.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay. So we went to Oro the first night we were there in Rio de Janeiro. And Zoe, if you remember, we were exhausted in the morning when we arrived.
Yeah, but we got a little nap in before we made it over there.
Yes, definitely got recharged and dressed for the evening. We took the Uber Black just from the Fairmont over to Les Blancs, which is where Oro is located. It literally took 10 minutes. And we actually got there just a touch early.
Yeah, so we were actually waiting outside with a couple other people for their doors to open.
Yeah, I tried to open the door, but it was locked.
Uh, yeah, but it was fun that we were the first people in.
The first people to walk in. So they opened the doors for us and greeted us very nicely and showed us to our seats there at the chef's table.
Yeah, so the restaurant itself is absolutely beautiful. I think the outside gives like this brutalist modern vibe, but once you step through the doors into the inside, it's just such a cozy and romantic environment. Very non-pretentious vibe. I feel like it was
Yeah. Warm,
warm,
inviting. Yeah.
inviting.
Mhm.
It was a small space. Yeah, I loved the restaurant inside.
Probably about the same amount of seating as there was over at me, maybe about 8 to 10 small tables behind us. We were sat down at the chef's table, which essentially was just like almost like just a
It's a
sort of a
small
bar,
bar.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
bar area in the front with the open kitchen right in front of us. Where all the chefs were putting the finishing touches on all the dishes that were going out.
Yeah, so the restaurant itself is what was a great vibe. They had a small upstairs also,
Yeah.
where the bathroom's located, just in
Oh,
case you
that's
need
where the
to know
bathroom
that.
was located.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
very small. But yeah, before we get into all the delicious and amazing food we ate, how about we talk about the restaurant a little more?
So if you look at their website, they describe themselves as an avant-garde restaurant, always pushing the boundaries of culinary innovation. The restaurant itself was created by Chef Felipe Bronze. He's Argentinian born and actually trained here in the United States and brought his culinary style and opened Oro in 2010 and achieved the first Michelin star in 2015 and followed that up with his second Michelin star in 2017.
Being only the third restaurant in all of Latin America to achieve that distinction
Is it only
and
the
have
third? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
And they've held that distinction ever since.
Wow. Yeah. The concept behind the cuisine at Oro is meant to showcase the rich flavors, traditions, and culinary style of Brazil.
Yeah, they do a great job at really elevating it and delivering it in a very beautiful way. Chef Felipe Bronze is also accompanied by his two executive chefs there at the restaurant, one of which we were probably eating 2 feet away from the whole night.
It was very nice also. Spoke with us, answered questions. I'm always, bothering them. I feel bad about it, but they're always very accommodating.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, he was great. That executive chef is Guilherme Vaz, and no, he's very personable. Watching a chef cook is a lot like watching an artist paint in real time. I think like every moment has such intention and each ingredient has a purpose. And what looks effortless is actually years of training and precision and dedication to their craft.
I just thought it was really cool watching them put the dishes together. So it was really nice to be close up to the action. Literally, remember the oven was literally right in front of us. They were finishing off all the dishes there and then plating them right in front of us. So it was just really cool to see them do that. And I actually thought everyone there in the restaurant was actually very nice. We were asking questions to the people who were serving us food, to our sommelier, to multiple people, and everyone was very gracious.
Yeah, it was a great experience sitting at the chef's table. I would definitely recommend it if you have the chance to do that. Yeah, so let's get into the actual meal.
Okay, great. So how did it start off after we were seated?
We were greeted with 2 gin and tonic shots as sort of a palate cleanser for the night, which I had never had in a restaurant before.
Oh, it's like you've had gin and tonic. Where maybe you don't like tonic.
No, I meant this wasn't like a normal gin and tonic either.
Yeah.
It was very light and refreshing.
Yes.
A great way to start the meal that I felt was different than the standard.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, definitely. So they brought over our gin and tonic shots, which we gladly accepted. And then they came over and took our drink orders. As usual, I ordered my Manhattan. What did you get, baby?
I ordered the Old Passion.
Now, in hindsight, we probably should not have ordered any cocktails because our sommelier was awesome.
Yeah, so we opted for one wine pairing that we shared. And we've done this quite a few times now where we do just one wine pairing and we typically share. And most of the time they don't have any,
We've
we've never
never
had
had
any
a problem with
issues
that.
about doing
So
that.
so definitely don't feel shy about asking for it. If I did a whole wine pairing by myself, I'd be asleep before the end of the meal. So there's never been a problem at any of the restaurants we've been to. We've asked for the single wine pairing to share, and everyone's always said yeah. So if you want that, just ask for it and go for it.
And if you're lucky, like we were at Oro, we actually got like, I don't know,
Numerous, multiple.
we got way more than one wine pairing out
I've
of that.
never seen anything like this before in my life.
Yeah, so we'll get into that. That was great. So after we got our drinks, we took a look at the menu, and you want to talk about what course we selected?
Yeah, so they give you two options on the menu. There is the Creatividade, which is creativity menu. That is the full tasting menu. That is 11 snacks, four main courses, and the choice of one dessert out of three. They also have the Effectividade menu as well. That is sort of the shorter menu. It just has the two main courses, but everything else that you would see on the creativity menu.
And that menu, it translates to affection.
Mm-hmm.
More of a concise menu, and the Creatividade
Creativity.
menu that we selected, I feel like really captures the whole experience. So I would recommend that one for sure.
So just to give everyone an idea on pricing, the affection tasting course was 390 reals, which came out to about $78. Remember, 5 to 1 for your conversion ratio. And then creativity was 550 reals, or about 110 USD. And then the wine pairing itself was 550 reals. Once again, about 110, which
That is so cheap
which
for
great
what we got.
great deal. I
Yeah.
mean, like it's like so. I mean, I just want to talk about that. I mean, the sommelier, he gave us repeated refills on multiple of the wine pairings, and he seemed to, it was like he was confused. I think he was just really happy we were
Just wanted
there.
us to have a good
Yeah, have
time.
a good time. But after the Manhattan, I was a little tipsy.
Oh, yeah. We would finish the wine pairing before we would finish one of our courses, and he'd come back by and refill the glass again
Yeah, right.
multiple times.
Yeah.
So we truly got more than 2 full pairings out of it. And the wine was incredible.
The wine was fantastic. I mean, I love fermented grapes. Don't ask me what region it's from, but it was all very tasty.
The wine list is created by Cecilia Aldez. She is the lead sommelier at Oro, and she has won so many awards, is very renowned in Latin America for her expertise in wine. And I think she did a great job there.
Yeah, everything I thought paired very nicely with the food options we were given.
Yeah. So, should we start talking about the actual food that we ate?
Yeah, so just to give everyone an idea, so like we said, so they have 11 snacks that comes with either the creativity or the affection menu. This reminded us a lot of our trip to Single Thread, which also had a large amount of single bites
Hmm.
that you have before the main courses come out. At Oro, they had 3 trios come out, all served together, which I think also contrasted very nicely together. And I think if you look into sort of the background of the restaurant, what they're really trying to do is tell the story of Brazil through these snacks that they're serving to you.
Yeah, I think they all paired really nicely and everything felt very intentional. They encourage you to eat everything, all the snacks with your hands, which
Hmm.
I love.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, they were incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, even for like a snack size, you get so much flavor in each and every one of them. They do a really great job.
Yeah. So we started off with the oyster and guava. What'd you think about that dish, baby?
Yeah, so I think the oyster was a great way to start. Gave it that nice ocean brininess. I love a fresh oyster. I'd
Mhm.
never had one paired with guava, but it definitely felt very Rio de Janeiro. It reminded me of where we were immediately. And yeah, it was a great first bite.
Yeah, you even toasted me with your oyster shell. I loved it.
Yeah, did you like that one?
I love that one.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it was very nice. Good, refreshing way to start off the 11 snacks that we were about to embark upon.
Yeah.
So after that, they brought out the first trios. The first trio is the scallops and heart of palm, the cod and kale crisp sandwich, and the jamon fish and tomato crisp.
Yeah, so I think this trio really captured some of Brazil's most iconic ingredients. Yeah, so let's go through each of these bites.
Yeah. So the scallops and heart of palm, I thought was fantastic. So the scallop was similar to how we had it at me. It was very lightly cooked, and it was paired with the heart of palm, which have you had heart of palm before? I've actually never had heart of palm, but it has sort of this crisp and tangy texture to it. So the two together, I thought worked together very nicely.
Little sandwich that we're calling it.
It is a sandwich. Anything with 2 pieces of
Something.
cracker with filling in the middle, that's a sandwich in my book.
Yeah. So it was served in between these 2 thin crackers, and oh my god, like, it doesn't sound like much, like cod and kale doesn't sound like it would be as mind-blowing as this little bite was. It was so
It
good.
was great. The filling was amazing. So the filling I thought was seasoned perfectly. It was, like, rich and creamy. Yeah, I loved it.
The chef also asked which snack was our favorite at the end, and we did choose this little
This
sandwich.
is what we chose. Yeah, similar to me, they gave us the option of having an extra, course of whatever we liked, and this is what we picked, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, and Chef Voss also said this was his favorite
Oh,
too.
yeah, I forgot that.
So,
He did say that was his favorite.
if it's
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
chef's favorite, it's always a safe bet.
That's true.
It was yeah, they did a great job on that one. Obviously,
Yeah.
they know that.
Yeah. And then the third part of this first tree was the jamon fish and tomato crisp. This was nice. So it was this sort of wafer
Like a
almost.
Rice Crisp.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So like a rice crisp at the bottom with the jamon and the tomato and the fish, all of it together in one bite. I thought was really flavorful.
Yeah, great balance, good acidity.
Yeah,
Enjoyed that one.
yeah. So out of this first trio, what do you think your favorite was? Well, I
Obviously,
guess we know that one
I
already.
mean,
Sorry,
yeah,
I guess I blew that.
was.
Keep us in suspense.
Yeah.
Okay, it was the cotton kale crisp was our favorite out of this, obviously because we ordered a second helping of it.
Yeah.
So that moves us on to the second trio. So this was what they described as their tour of Brazil because these were all elevated dishes of local cuisine that you would find in the city of Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, I thought this was a really cool concept and they executed it perfectly.
What did you think of the Casquina di Sere?
Yeah, so I'm glad you said that for me because I was about to botch that. So that translates to a little crab shell, and this was a nice little croquette in a way with some crab, crispy topping. It was a Brazilian crab,
Hmm.
very light flavor.
Yeah, these are all local items there that you would get in Brazil. So local fish, local seafood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so loved this one. This was great.
Yeah, this was really good. Yeah, good crunch and great flavor on the crab. They also served this second trio with the pão de queijo. This is actually just the cheese ball that we'd actually had tried when we went to see Christ the Redeemer.
Yeah, so this is their famous cheese balls. You'll get these on the streets, at restaurants, everywhere.
Yeah,
But this was their own version of it. And I mean, it was amazing. Obviously,
it
it's
was
a
great.
cheese ball.
Yeah, a cheese ball. They topped it off with some grated pralines on top, which gave it
Hmm.
some good crunch. And the cheese flavor was fantastic as well. So, obviously, an elevated version of that classic Brazilian dish.
So, on to our third dish of the trio.
This was the carabinero and pumpkin squash, which, when you see the photo of it, it's essentially like this little soup dish with a cool breadstick that comes with it.
Yeah, I would call it more like a bread straw
Yeah.
of some sort. Um, but this was a really lovely dish. The
Mm,
carbonero
good, baby.
is a red prawn that is fished off the coast of Brazil, famous for its intense and sweet flavors. And it just paired perfectly with the pumpkin squash. And so, what we did was we were told to eat the soup or the bisque with our little bread straw.
Yeah.
And it had like this sort of like souffle whip on top, also.
Yeah. So it was nice and warm, seasoned perfectly. It was just really nice to eat.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so warm and cozy in there.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's so good.
Yeah. So out of this trio, what was your favorite?
I will say the Casquinha de Siri
Okay. That
was
was mine
probably the
too.
most memorable of the three.
Mine too. Yeah.
They were all great though.
Yeah. Yeah. I did think the crab flavor just came through so nicely. Definitely stood out of that trio that they served.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And on to our third trio. So what did we get in our third trio, baby?
So this one was also a beautiful presentation. I don't think we've emphasized yet about how beautiful they presented all their dishes and unique. Their plating was amazing.
Yeah. You will see everything though.
Yeah. And this one really stood out with the plating. The first of the trio for this last one was the steak tartare and nori. And this was like a little wrapped
Taco.
taco.
It was a
Well,
taco.
yeah, like a cone almost.
A
It was a
cone. Yeah.
cone
Okay. A cone.
of nori with the steak tartare inside, and it was presented like a little flower bouquet
Yeah.
almost in
Right.
this sort of vase.
Yeah.
Beautiful presentation, yummy bite. I think the steak tartare and the nori really balanced each other out. Great flavors there.
So the second course in this third trio was the shrimp and chayote mochi, which I'm sure everyone knows. Mochi is that's a Japanese dessert, right, baby?
Well, I'm sure everybody knows what chayote is too.
Yeah, it's a squash.
Duh.
Which I didn't know until we ate there, but I do know that a mochi is traditionally a Japanese sweet dessert dish. But this was definitely a savory mochi, which was actually pretty awesome because it was the squash mixed with the shrimp as the filling for the mochi, and it was just a delicious bite.
Yeah, it was a fun way to eat those. I enjoyed that one for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I love mochi. I've never had it that way,
Never had it
but
like this.
it was a good experience.
Yeah. And then the third portion of the third trio was the corn, katsubushi, and beef jerky. The katsubushi, now, I had to look this up. This is what they use to make the base of dashi, and it has that really intense umami flavor. So, katsubushi is actually smoked and fermented bonito fish, which they actually use as their sort of stock for dashi. The katsubushi gives it this very umami, smoky flavor. And then this dish was mixed with the corn, which also had that sweetness. So I thought the flavors together actually paired very nicely with this dish.
Yeah, I think when you pair all of those flavors together, it just gets this perfect balance. I think it was really creative play on all of it.
Yeah. So out of this third trio, baby, what was your favorite?
Ooh, probably the steak tartare
That
taco.
was me too. Yeah.
I mean, it was fun to eat.
Which was a debate thing, but we're
I
agreeing.
know. It was just such a fun presentation and flavor. I loved it.
Yeah, the steak tartare was magical. I really liked it. So the last course of the 11 snack beginning was the Cervantes.
Mm.
Yeah. So I didn't know this until we went there, but Cervantes is actually a sandwich shop there in Rio de Janeiro. And this served almost like their homage to that restaurant.
I thought this was a really great way to nod to the local fare and community. And it was just like this delicious little pork belly sandwich,
Yeah.
which, if you serve me anything with pork belly, great.
Yeah, it was good. I thought out of the 11 dishes was probably my least favorite, but it was still
Really?
flavorful.
Least
I
favorite.
did, yeah. I was
Huh.
surprised. I love pork belly, but this is my least favorite, I think.
It was a pretty big bite too.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was served individual, like by itself. I don't know, maybe like a little something with it, like a little sauce of some sort. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. You hear that, chef?
So
Just
bronze.
kidding. It was a
Uh,
great. I mean, 11 snacks. We were already like starting to feel it by now.
oh yeah, well with all the wine pairing, yeah.
Did we start the wine with the snack?
Yeah, he
Okay.
was serving it. Led us into the main courses. The first dish that came out for the main courses was the sweet lobster, heart of palm, and vanilla. This is the second time that heart of palm shows up in the progression of dishes, and this was great. So the lobster was served with the heart of palm, and also sort of like this. How would you describe the cashew?
Like a dollop of cashew puree in the corner.
Yeah, which
Um,
it was that, and then at the bottom of the dish there was sort of this broth of vanilla. So the sweetness of the vanilla went great with the flavor of the lobster, and then the cashew puree was fantastic.
yeah, I've never had anything like that, and I feel like it was just a wonderful pairing of different flavors that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah,
Like, I've obviously never had any vanilla with lobster before, and it just worked. Like, it was really creamy and light, just really fun.
yeah, that was great.
And I liked the heart of palms.
Yeah,
Um,
it has that tangy sort of crunch, which is nice.
yeah, overall, just like a really beautiful presentation on this one.
So this was followed by the gnocchi, porcini mushroom, and tulha cheese dish. What'd you think about this one, baby?
I mean, I love cheese. I do. It was
Yes, you
great.
do. That's true.
And this Tula cheese is a local cheese from Sao Paulo that is famous in Brazil. Overall, though, I was very cheesy,
It was really rich.
really, really rich, especially for like the second course. Um, it's a little too much for me.
Yeah. So like I mean, everything was cooked great. The gnocchi I thought was cooked perfectly, but the mushrooms were earthy. The gnocchi was a little on the heavier side, and then the cheese also just gave it sort of this richness and heaviness. So maybe there's maybe some sort of acid to cut through that I thought would have made it a little bit better. But once again, everything was executed perfectly. It was just a little rich for my palate.
Yeah, I think I could definitely eat that by itself on an average night, but from going from like a nice little lobster course to like a cheese gnocchi was just like, yeah,
It was a lot.
it's a lot for me and my tummy.
So then the third main course they served us was fish of the day and corn, which I love this dish. So Zoe knows that one of my favorite dishes is anything with corn.
Yeah, so this is a lot more than it actually sounds, though.
Yeah.
This was a beautiful course, and wow, they
Yeah.
really knocked it out of the park with this one.
Hmm.
So it was a little fillet of fish served in this like really rich broth.
Corn. It was like a corn emulsion almost.
Yeah, but then it had like the baby corn
Yeah. Right.
layered on top of the fish, like the fillet. So it was just like a wonderful presentation again, but
Yeah.
all the flavors were really there. And then the corn was just like really sweet.
Yeah. The sweetness of the corn with like sort of the meatiness of the fish, I thought paired together perfectly.
It was
And
almost like a dessert.
it ate a little on the sweeter side, but it was just so it comes out hot. It was
It's
just
just
very
so
nice to
good.
eat. Like it
Yeah.
was fantastic. This was my favorite of the main courses. Sorry to spoil it, but I did like this one the most.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
very cozy dish.
Yeah. And then they finished off the main courses with the Brazilian beef and cashew nuts. This was great because so while we were in Brazil, we kept talking about going to Brazilian steakhouse, which we actually never made it to.
We didn't.
We did not, but this was our substitute because in this dish we were able to get the Brazilian beef, and then they served that with the cashew nuts, which was a great pairing. And this was the one where at the beginning of the meal we saw them preparing these courses. Remember, baby, they had the little green strings, and I thought it was what did I say it was. I thought it was fennel, or I thought it was.
I don't know, probably something crazy.
It was
It
not.
was just like
It was
celery.
celery. It was
Yeah.
just shaved celery that they were putting on top of the Brazilian beef with that cashew nut spread. So fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I love this. It's a great piece of steak.
Okay, baby, tell us about the desserts.
So the dessert that I chose to have was the coconut R versions, and this was a beautiful execution of all things coconut, which I love.
Yeah.
I think the pastry chefs really did a great job on this. So it was coconut flakes, coconut ice cream, coconut cream, and a coconut cake all layered into this nice little bite
It's
almost.
like just a bundle of all
A
these
bundle
different
of
types of
deliciousness.
coconut. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So I think each component brought with it a different texture, and it really showcased how versatile coconut can be while remaining balanced and enjoyable,
Yeah, this one was awesome. I loved it. We did share these desserts. So if you
obviously.
remember, if you remember, they have three desserts on the menu. The one we didn't get was the everything chocolate dessert. The other one I selected was the caja fruit almond cake and eggnog. This was good. This was all right. I thought the cake ate a little bit dense, but the fruit was nice. The eggnog was fine. But I definitely liked Zoe's choice much better.
Yeah. Andrew's not like a big fruit desserty type of person anyway. So,
The coconut was great. I loved it.
oh, yeah.
That was
I
fantastic.
mean, I don't know. I guess that's a fruit, but it's a different type of fruit.
It is a fruit, like a tomato.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
So,
It was a
uh,
very good, like, tropical dessert that I mean, they were both tropical,
yeah,
just different takes, which I enjoyed, and I'm glad we chose, like, the more tropical desserts out of the 3.
yeah. The coconut I just thought was just way better. So,
Yeah, it was great.
yeah. And that was the end of the meal. They finished us off with a couple of espressos and then just a collection of
The trio of
chocolates.
desserts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the trio of chocolates that we were able to have, which were lovely.
Yeah, so by the end of our espressos and our little chocolates, we had already been there for several hours.
3 hours again, easily.
I mean, it went by so fast, though. It was great.
I think it was the wine.
For
It's because it was
sure.
the wine. Yeah, so
He
it was
did a
a
number on us.
oh yeah. Yeah, it
Thank
was
you,
a
sir.
it was a very easy Uber Black back to the Fairmont as well. Once again, literally like 10 minutes, and yeah, just a fantastic experience we had at Oro. So what do you think, baby? What would your rating of the restaurant be, and would you go back?
Ooh, I would rate it, gosh, 8.75.
We're doing 0.75s?
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right.
And I would absolutely go back. I loved this restaurant. I love doing like the fine dining Michelin restaurants, but I also am just not really into the pretentious vibes of some of the restaurants, which I mean just comes with that type of cuisine anyways. But this restaurant was just so cozy and enjoyable. You
Yeah.
really got to like have that experience and eating with the chef and all the staff was just really incredible.
Yeah, I really feel like they, wanted to share their vision of what Brazilian cuisine is with us while we were there. Very inviting, just a great experience overall. I would give it an 8. I'd give it a solid 8 on this one. Um, yeah, I think their ability to showcase so many dishes also. I can't imagine how much work goes into curating a dish that has 11 snacks to start off with, and then 4 main courses, and then dessert to go along with it. So just that thought and technique and creativity that goes along with all the dishes, I thought was really impressive.
Yeah, I would totally agree with the creativity. I think they did a great job in executing the concept and really showcasing the constant evolution of Brazilian ingredients and seasonality and just the overall Michelin experience. It was great.
Yeah. So thank you so much to Chef Felipe Bronze for having us dine at your wonderful restaurant. Yeah, I would definitely go back. No
And
questions.
thank you for Guillermo Voss leading us through the journey.
And our sommelier for just really being overly gracious with our wine pours.
I know. I wish we got his
We
name,
should have got
but
his name.
gosh, he was phenomenal. The
Uh,
entire team was, though.
all right. So that concludes this episode. Thank you again for listening in with us as we went over our experience at Oro there in Rio de Janeiro. If you have any questions, remember, please send us a DM on our Instagram accounts. That's at Rezzies and Redeyes. And of course, if you're enjoying the podcast or our YouTube channel, please rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps us with the algorithms.
Yeah, we can't wait to talk to you guys next time where we'll be exploring all things Delta One.
Oh, no.
You don't want to miss this one.
Zoe's got a lot to say on this. I do too, actually. I was, what an experience from start to finish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll have a lot to say.
Thanks again, everyone. And we'll see you for the next episode. Sign us off, baby.
See you later.